Hi everyone! For today's video, I am going to discuss about multiplication of radicals. Multiplying radicals of the same orders or indices. To multiply radicals of the same order or indices, use the rule n root of AB is equal to quantity n root of A times quantity n root of B. Then simplify by the removal of the powers from radical. For example, we have square root of 3 times square root of 5. So we just have to multiply the radicand. That's why here, meron tayong 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. So the product of square root of 3 and square root of 5 is square root of 15. Simplify if possible. Since 15 is not a perfect square, isip tayo if ever, meron ba siyang factors or factor na perfect square. In this case, 15, wala siyang factor na perfect square. So, ang final answer natin is square root of 15. So, the product of square root of 3 and square root of 5 is square root of 15. Another example number 2. Negative 3x squared of 3x squared y raised to 5 times 8y cubed square root of 6xyz. So, ang gagawin lang po natin dito, we multiply the coefficients. Kaya, yung negative 3x, imumultiply natin kay 8y cubed. Meron tayo dito. Ayan po siya. And then, yung mga radicals, imumultiply lang po natin. Kaya, meron tayo sa loob ng radical sign natin. We have here quantity 3x squared y raised to 5 times 6xyz. And then, okay, evaluate po. Negative 3x times 8y cubed is equal to negative 24xy cubed. And then, yung sa loob ng radical naman natin, radical sign natin, itong 3x squared, y raised to 5 times 6xyz is equal to, okay, 3 times 6, that is 18. X squared times x, that is x cubed. Y raised to 5 times y, that is y raised to 6. And okay, z. So here, again, when we are multiplying variables, you just add the exponents. Kaya x squared to, mayroong isang x doon, kaya naging x cubed. Same through with y. May 5 tayo doon, tapos isang y, kaya y raised to 6 siya. And then next, okay, you copy the coefficient, negative 24xy cubed. Tapos ito, i-factor out natin na kung saan yung isang factor niya ay pwede natin kuhanan ng square root. So, 18 is not a perfect square, pero meron siyang factor na perfect square. Ano po yung factor ng 18 na ang isang factor niya ay perfect square? Meron tayong 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is equal to 18 and 9 is a perfect square. Then dito sa ating variable, since x cube yan, since ang index ay 2, para makakuhanan natin ng mailabas natin yung variable x, kailangan same yung power, 'di ba? So, ang kukunin lang natin dito ay x squared. Syempre yung isang x lalagay natin doon. Si y raised to 6, perfect square po 'yan. Kasi si 6 po ay divisible by 2. Ibig sabihin si 6 pwede nating i-divide kay 2. Kaya nilagay ko po siya dito. And then si z, since 1 lang yan, dito po siya. Then, again, copy the coefficient negative 24xy cubed. Saan po nanggaling si 3xy cubed? Ito po. Square root po ni 9 ay 3. Square root po ni x squared ay x. Square root po ni y raised to 6 ay y cubed. So, you copy the variable here and then you divide 6 by 2 or the index. Kaya may 3 tayo dyan. And then, since si 2xz, wala naman siyang square root, kaya naiwan siya sa loob ng ating radical sign. And then, multiply the coefficients. So, negative 24xy cubed times 3xy cubed, that is equal to negative 72x squared y raised to 6. And then, copy the radical square root of 2xz. Therefore, the product of negative 3x squared of 3x squared y raised to 5 and 8y cubed square root of 6xyz is negative 72x squared y raised to 6 square root of 2xz. For example 3, we have quantity 3 plus square root of 5 squared, meaning we are going to multiply 3 plus square root of 5 by itself. So, para makuha natin ang product niyan, apply the rule of squaring binomials. Binomial po kasi ito. So, sabi dito, paano ba tayo nag-square ng binomials? Quantity a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So, dito, ang value ng a natin ay 3, ang value ng b natin ay square root of 5. And then, susundan nyo lang po yung format nito. Kaya dito, sa solution natin, since the value of a is 3, meron tayong 3 squared, plus, dito ang sabi, 2 times a times b, kaya meron tayong 2 times the value of a which is 3 times the value of b which is square root of 5, plus b squared, so the value of b is square root of 5, kaya meron tayong square root of 5 squared. And then, evaluate. So, 3 squared is equal to 9 plus 2 times 3 is equal to 6 times square root of 5, that is equal to 6 square root of 5 plus square root of 5 squared is equal to 5. Since ito, ang index niya ay 2, ang power niya ay 2, pwede nating i-cancel out yan, kaya ang may iwan na lang ay si 5. Or, square root of 5 times square root of 5 is equal to square root of 25. The square root of 25 is equal to 5. And then simplify. Since ito, 9 tsaka 5, pares na whole number, pwede na natin silang pagsamahin. So, 9 plus 5 is equal to 14. And then copy the radical 6 square root of 5. Hindi po natin pwedeng i-add si 14 at saka si 6 because they are dissimilar. So, ito na po yung magiging final answer natin. 14 plus 6 square root of 5. Example 4. Quantity 5 square root of 2 minus 6 square root of 5 times 5 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 5. So, ito po ay example ng sum and difference of two binomials. So, in order for us to find the product, apply the rule of product of the sum and difference of two binomials wherein quantity a plus b times a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. So, dito sa given natin, ang value ng a natin ay 5 square root of 2 and ang value ng b natin ay 6 square root of 5. So, sundin lang po natin ito, a squared, kaya meron tayong 5 square root of 2 squared, minus po, so minus din po tayo dito, and then b squared, so ang value ng b natin ay 6 square root of 5, kaya meron tayong 6 square root of 5 squared. So, apply the power rule, so i-distribute lang po natin si 2 sa loob, kaya meron tayong 5 squared, and then square root of 2 squared, okay, copy the operation, so minus. Then, same din po, i-distribute lang po natin ito sa loob. So, kaya meron tayong 6 squared and square root of 5 squared. 5 squared is equal to 25. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 or square root of 2 squared is equal to 2. You cancel out the radical sign and the power since the index is 2 at the same lang din sa power. And then, the operation minus. Then, 6 squared, that is 6 times 6 equals 36. And then, square root of 5 squared is equal to 5. Then, evaluate po or simplify. 25 minus 2 is equal to 50. Copy the operation minus. And then, 36 times 5 is equal to 180. 50 minus 180 is equal to negative 130. Therefore, the product of 5 square root of 2 minus 6 square root of 5 and 5 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 5 is equal to negative 130. Okay, so paano naman kapag tayo ay nagmumultiply ng radicals of different orders or indices? Meaning, magkaiba po yung index nila. So, to multiply radicals of different orders, it is necessary to express them as radicals of the same order. Okay, so dito, pwede lang nating mag-multiply ng directly, parang radicand times radicand, ganun, kapag pareho ang order nila. So, kapag nagkataon na magkaiba ang order nila, kailangan gawin muna natin yung radical na maging same order. So, meron tayong steps na susundin. So, first step is express the radical expression into exponential form. So, halimbawa dito sa given natin, square root of 2 times cube root of 4 times fourth root of 5. So, magkakaiba po ng index yan. Ito square root, ang index niya ay 2. Ito ang index niya ay 3 kasi cube root yan. Ito naman ang index niya ay 4 kasi fourth root yan. So, hindi natin pwedeng i-multiply directly yung radicands. Hindi pwedeng 2 times 4 times 5. Hindi po pwede. So, ang gagawin muna natin unang step is i-rewrite sila or i-express sila into exponential form. So, si square root of 2 is the same as 2 raised to 1/2. Si cube root of 4 is the same as 4 raised to 1/3. Then, si fourth root of 5 is the same as 5 raised to 1/4. Then, after expressing them in exponential form, step 2, make the fractional exponent similar by having a common denominator. So, kailangan yung mga fractional exponents natin, gawin natin silang similar fractions. Okay, again, kailan natin masasabing similar fractions? Kapag magkapareho ang denominator. So, para magawa natin yon, hanapin natin yung least common denominator or yung LCD na tinatawag. So, ang LCD po ni 2, 3, at saka 4 ay 12. Okay? So, saan po nanggaling si 6? 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. Kaya 6 over 12. Then, si 1/3 naman, okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times the numerator 1 is equal to 4. Kaya meron tayong 4 over 12. And then, 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 1 is 3. Kaya meron tayo ditong 3 over 12. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, pare-pareho na po yung denominator ng kanilang fractional exponents. So, meron na tayong 2 raised to 6 over 12, 4 raised to 4 over 12, and 5 raised to 3 over 12. Next step, express the resulting expression as radicals of the same order. Ngayon, kapag nagawa nyo ng pare-pareho yung denominator ng fractional exponents, okay, ito po siya, nilabas ko lang. So, ano yung ginawa ko? Si 2 raised to 6, ayan po siya. And then 4 raised to 4, ayan po. Then 5 raised to 3, ayan po. And then quantity raised to 1 over 12. So, kapag naganyan na siya, guys, ibabalik nyo lang siya sa radical form. Okay? Ibabalik nyo lang siya sa radical form na kung saan, kung mapapansin nyo, pare-pares na sila ng index. So, this is 12 root of 2 raised to 6 times 4 raised to 4 times 5 cubed. Then, break down the radicand into perfect and non-perfect end powers. So, since the index is 12, para makuhanan natin ng 12 root, yan, kailangan meron tayong magawang or magawang factor na ang exponent niya ay 12. Para magamitan natin ng property of nth root. Property of nth root. So, dito, ang ginawa ko, kailangan kasi may magawa kong parehong base. So, si 4 raised to 4 kasi, si 4, that is the same as 2 squared. Kaya, in-express ko siya as 2 squared. And then, quantity raised to 4 pa rin. Kasi may exponent na 4 yan. And then, sinimplify ko lang siya, 4 times 2. Kaya, meron na tayong 2 raised to 8 dito. So, kung mapapansin niyo may parehong base. Si 2 raised to 6 and 2 raised to 8. So, pwede na nating i-add ang exponents niyan. So, copy the base 2 and then add the exponent. 6 plus 8 is equal to 14. So, since ang index natin ay 12, di ba may magagawa tayong 12 sa 14? May isa, di ba? Kaya ang ginawa ko, yung 14, hinati ko na lang ulit siya sa 2 raised to 12 at saka 2 raised to 2. Ulitin ko po, di ba 2 raised to 6 and 2 raised to 8 ito. So, pag minultiply natin yan, you copy the base 2 and then you add the exponent. So, 6 plus 8 is 14. Sa 14 kasi, may magagawa tayong isang 12. Kaya ang ginawa ko, hinati ko ulit yung 14 kay 2 raised to 12 at saka kay 2 raised to 2. So, 2 raised to 14 pa rin yan. Para ito, maging pareho dito sa index natin. And then, si 5 cube pa rin siya. And then, kuhanan po natin ng 12 root po ito, si 2 raised to 12. So, nailabas po natin si 2. Ang naiwan po ay si 2 squared, which is 4, and then 5 cubed, which is 125. So, 4 times 125 is 500. So, our final answer is 2, 12 root of 500. Therefore, the product of square root of 2, cube root of 4, and fourth root of 5 is equal to 2, 12 root of 500. Another example is fourth root of 12x cubed times square root of 12y raised to 6. So first step, express the radical expressions into exponential form. So si fourth root of 12x cubed is the same as 12x cubed raised to 1/4. And then si square root of 12y raised to 6 is the same as quantity 12y raised to 6 raised to 1/2. Next step, step 2, make the fractional exponent similar by having a common denominator. So, para magawa natin yan, kunin ang least common denominator ni 4 and 2. So, ang LCD po nila ay 4. Kaya meron tayong 4 dito as denominator, meron din tayong 4 dito as denominator. So, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So, 1/4 pa rin po siya. Pagdating naman po dito, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Kaya meron tayong 2/4 po dito. And then, next is, so yung numerator natin dito, ginawa natin siyang exponent dito. Parang finactor out lang po natin yung common factor ni 1/4 at saka si 2/4, that is 1/4. So, nilabas ko lang siya dito. And then, ang ginawa natin, 12x cubed raised to 1/2. Ito naman, 12y raised to 6 quantity raised to 2. Then, simplify po natin yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. 12x cubed raised to 1 is the same as 12x cubed. Pagdating naman po dito, apply the power rule. So, minumultiply lang po natin yung exponents. Ito, 12 raised to 1 yan. So, 1 times 2. Kaya meron tayong 12 raised to 2 doon. Ito. Then, y raised to 6. So, 6 times 2 is 12. Then, quantity raised to 1/4. Next, express the resulting expression as radicals of the same order. So, ang gagawin natin, ibabalik natin ulit siya sa radical form. So, si 1/4 po is the same as 4th root. So, ito, 4th root of, so yung radicand natin, ito lang po yan, lahat na yan. So, quantity 12x cubed times 12x squared y raised to 12. Then, step 4, break down the radicand into perfect and non-perfect and powers. So, ang gagawin natin, kailangan, ito, i-factor out natin siya na kung saan meron tayong perfect and powers. Pag sinabi natin perfect and powers, pwede natin siyang kuhanan ng 4th root. So, ang ginawa ko, pinactor out ko si 12, 4 times 3, pero si 4, in-express ko in terms of 2 squared. In-express ko si 4 as 2 raised to 2. Then, yung x cube natin, naki-x cube. Again, si 12, 4 times 3, pero si 4, in-express ko as 2 squared. Okay, times 3, quantity squared kasi may squared pa tayo dyan. And then, times y raised to 12. And then, simplify po natin to si quantity 2 squared times 3 squared. So, apply power rule lang po. Distribute lang po natin si 2. So, 2 times 2, multiply ang exponents. Kaya meron tayong 2 raised to 4. Pagdating naman dito, 3 raised to 1 yan. So, 1 times 2 is 2. Kaya meron tayong 3 squared. Then, kung titingnan nyo po, ito yung mga factors natin. Titingnan nyo kung alin yung pwede natin kuhanan ng fourth root dyan. So, meron tayong dalawa, si 2 raised to 4 at saka si y raised to 12. Kaya dito, meron tayong 2 kasi ang fourth root ni 2 raised to 4 ay 2. Diba? Same index, same power. So, cancel out lang yan. Apply the property of n power. N root, property of n root. So, meron tayong 2 dito. And then, saan naman po nanggaling si y cube? So, y raised to 12. Since si 12 is divisible by 4, ibig sabihin may fourth root po yan. So, y raised to 12, copy the base y, and then you divide the power by the index. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3. That's why we have y cube here. So, 2y cube na yung ating coefficients. Ngayon, ano po yung mga naiwan? So, yung mga naiwan po natin dito, 2 squared, meron tayong 2 squared dito. Meron din tayong 3 cube. Saan po nanggaling si 3 cube? Meron tayong isang 3 dito, may 3 squared tayo. So, 2 plus 1, add the exponent, 2 plus 1, that is 3. Kaya meron tayong 3 cube. And then, yung x cube po natin. Then, copy the coefficients, 2y cube, fourth root of 2 squared is 4, 3 cubed is 27. So, 4 times 27 is 108. 108 times x cubed is 108x cubed. So, the product of fourth root of 12x cubed and square root of 12y raised to 6 is equal to 2y cubed fourth root of 108x cubed. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.